He's absolutely darling. Please make him feel welcome, Joel Postman.
How's everybody doing? Shit, anybody can get divorced. The thing is to get widowed, right? Way less paperwork, one attorney. Sometimes you see comics come up and they got the little piece of paper, and you're like, oh, that guy. He has to write his jokes down, which I do, but I'm 57 years old. I've got my jokes on here, and I've got instructions on how to get back to my table. The microphone is a symbol of power, man. The comics, we love the microphone. There's two things that stand for comedy: the brick wall with improv on it and the microphone. And there's, you know, you hold that thing, and there's different ways of holding it, like that. Sometimes you see that. There's one you never see. Sorry, that never happens to me. You guys, speaking of friends, how's that for a totally broken segue? I have friends in my life, and you probably have people like this. You started off really close, and it's someone you've known for years, and you rely on each other, and you can help each other out. But then at some point, it turns into kind of a more one-way thing. And I had a situation like this, where she's like, oh, I need to borrow some money. I'm in jail, can you bail me out? I need some weed. My car's broken down, can you give me a ride? And they're just so destructive, they're so parasitic. You just have to cut them loose. And I did this, and I said, look, Mom, it's not working out. No, I shouldn't talk that way about my mom. God rest her soul. No, she's fine, it's just her soul that's dead. Speaking of dead, so I just found out this is pretty cool, because at my time in life, I'm actually thinking about these things. They have coffins at Costco. They do, no, it's great. You can get anything there. There are some problems, though. For one thing, it says Kirkland on it, and that's not my name. And that's going to confuse the mourners, right? I thought Joel Postman was in there. The other thing is, it's Costco, so you gotta buy them 3 at a time. Which looks really idiotic, pulling these things up the aisle at the store, and now I got 2 in my garage. So hit me up if you're feeling a little bit under the weather. I can make you a deal. I got a couple of those. See a lot of couples out here. This is probably a dumb question. Any of you guys argue? No, that's awesome. I knew someday I'd meet that couple that didn't argue. We should talk later. But the thing about arguments is, right, there's all these predictable phrases that people have. You know when you argue with your partner that there's something that's, within 3-4 minutes you're going to hear like, don't start with me. Or, well, so I've totally forgot that part of the joke. This is the thing with me in this age, it doesn't work out. It's a bad time to start comedy. I should have started when I was 13 like a fucking gymnast. That was a gymnast. That's all I know. Now I'm dancing. So anyway, there's just stuff that you come to expect in an argument. So I was wondering if, like, Hitler and his girlfriend Eva Braun, if they're having an argument, if it's sort of like that, where he's like, why do you always have to make me out to be the bad guy? You think it's easy being a genocidal maniac? I do this so we can have nice things. Like Poland. Okay, no segue here either. I am a comic. I don't make a lot of money at this. When I say not a lot, nothing. So I had to downsize recently, move from a bigger place to a smaller place. I was able to get into a gated community, though. It's called Santa Cruz Mini Storage. It's nice, it's very secure. I have to be in by 9. No windows, but all my stuff's there. I'm trying to be a little healthier. I do live in Santa Cruz now, so it's nice. Santa Cruz! One time, okay, this is an aside, and it's a true story. One time I was at a show in San Francisco. Let's just say an urban room. You get the code, urban. Anyway, I overheard from a corner in the room, old white motherfucker from Santa Cruz, which I think was me. And so I'm thinking of adopting that as a stage name. I don't know if they'll put that on the poster. But, okay, so Santa Cruz, a lot of healthy options out there. So I'm doing kind of GMO-free, gluten-free meth. That's something I can do to make myself a little healthier. I went to get a pot card. I thought this was going to be easy. It's funny, I don't know if any of you guys have signed up for one of these cards. But my friends, they coached me, right? Here's what you got to tell them, right? So, because they want, like, don't tell them you drink, or don't tell them you ever did drugs, or whatever, like all this routine so that you can get the card. And so I thought I had a pretty slick routine, and I go in there, and there's actually a doctor, and a scale, and a stethoscope, and a blood pressure cuff. They do a real physical. I did not do well. She said I needed to lose 20 pounds and my blood pressure was too high, and she wasn't going to give me the card. Which, if you got to think about the implications of that, I know when I was growing up, people looked down on stoners, right? That's not a great thing to be a stoner. And yet, the heartbreaking part of all of this, I didn't meet the basic minimum requirements to be a stoner. All right, well, that's been my time. Thanks very much, guys.